You probably remember this story. Back in 2017, the death of a young woman in a hotel freezer just exploded online. It was everywhere, fueled by viral videos and a ton of speculation. But what really happened? In this explainer, we're going to stick to the documented facts to separate the official record from all the noise and tell the tragic story of Kenneka Jenkins.
It all starts right here with this one stark fact. On a Saturday morning, 19-year-old Kenneka Jenkins from Chicago went to a party at the Crowne Plaza Hotel. She was with her friends, but she never came home.
And this is the question that just hangs over everything. The search for Kenneka ended in a place that's almost unbelievable. A walk-in freezer in a part of the hotel that wasn't even being used. How on earth did she get there? Well, to figure that out, we have to go back to the party.
So the whole night kicked off at a party in room 926 of the Crowne Plaza. But right away, there were red flags. Investigators later found out that the room was booked using a fraudulent credit card, a sign that things were already a little off.
Okay, so look at this timeline. It shows just how fast this all happened. Kenneka gets to the party after 1 a.m. By 1:30, she's on the phone with her sister for the last time. Less than 2 hours later, at 3:20, hotel cameras catch her, and you can see she's having a really hard time, staggering near the front desk. And then, just 12 minutes after that, we get the final, chilling footage of her walking into the kitchen area. After 3:32 a.m., she's gone. She is never seen alive again.
Now, people who were actually at the party gave investigators a really crucial piece of the puzzle. They said she just wasn't acting like her usual self. They saw her drinking cognac and said at one point she seemed pretty sad. It's a small detail, but it gives us a little window into her state of mind right before she vanished.
So as Kenneka disappears from the hotel's cameras, her family's desperate search is really just beginning. And their experience quickly turns into a story of absolute frustration and critical delays.
This is where you see a major breakdown. Kenneka's mom, Teresa Martin, is at the hotel by 5:30 in the morning, begging them to look at the security tapes. But she just hits a wall of procedure. The hotel says, nope, we need a police report. The police tell her to wait, same people, they often turn up on their own. And in that back and forth, precious hours were just lost.
It's not until almost 1 p.m., nearly 12 hours after Kenneka was last seen, that a missing persons report is finally filed. The police don't actually see her on the footage until 10 p.m. that night. And then, just after midnight on Sunday morning, a hotel worker finds her. She had been missing for almost an entire day.
So with the discovery of her body, the question totally shifts. It's no longer where is she, it's what happened to her. And all the focus turns to the official investigation and what it would find.
The Cook County Medical Examiner's report was, on paper, very definitive. Cause of death, hypothermia. The manner of death, an accident. Her blood alcohol level was 0.112, well over the legal driving limit. But they also found something else, topiramate. It's a prescription drug for epilepsy and migraines, but she didn't have a prescription for it. The examiner made a special note about this combo, saying it was critical because it could seriously enhance impairment and make hypothermia set in much faster.
And let's just be really clear about what hypothermia is. It's not just about being cold, it's a full-on medical emergency where your body loses heat so fast that your core functions literally start to shut down. For someone in Kenneka's severely impaired state, walking into a freezer, that would have been a death sentence, and a quick one. The Rosemont police basically echoed the medical examiner. They said their evidence pointed to no foul play, which was a direct contradiction to all the theories blowing up online. For example, investigators made sure to check the freezer door. They confirmed that even though it latched shut, the release handle on the inside was working perfectly. She wasn't trapped. But that official ruling of accidental death, that wasn't the end of the story. Not by a long shot. The case then moved from the criminal investigation to the legal system, where the central question became something else entirely: negligence.
So in 2018, Kenneka's mother filed a wrongful death lawsuit, and the amount she was initially seeking was just staggering, $15 million. That was against the hotel, its security company, and a restaurant that was leasing that kitchen space. The case never actually made it to trial. In late 2023, everybody involved reached a settlement, and the final amount was this: $10 million. So what does that actually mean?
Well, the settlement really focused on these key points of negligence. The lawsuit basically asked, why was this unused kitchen with a running freezer even accessible to a guest? Why wasn't that out-of-control party shut down? And maybe most importantly, why didn't somebody check the security footage right away when a mom was downstairs pleading for help? The $10 million settlement, it suggests that the hotel and others were held accountable for those failures.
And this is really the complicated paradox at the very heart of this case. The official ruling was accident, a tragic end caused by one person's choices and condition. But the civil settlement found negligence, which admits that different actions by the hotel could have prevented it. It leaves us with a really difficult question. When a tragedy doesn't have one single cause, but a whole chain of them, where does the responsibility truly lie? That is the complex and tragic legacy of Kenneka Jenkins.